Hello and welcome to Newark City of Poets. I'm your host, Jaleesa McEachin, and today we are here with the incredible Mia X. She is the founder of Hug the Block. She also has the NOLA Project. Mia, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get the name Mia X?
Well, thank you for having me on your show, first of all, Jaleesa. Thank you. But Mia, it means mine in Spanish. So when I heard that, and I just related to that. Like, I want something that is mine. So that's where you get Mia from, is mine. I am my own, and the X is for unknown, because I don't know, what's next. So
Exactly. It's a lot of things in this world that's unknown. Like, like, when did you start writing poetry? Because I do poetry myself, and I started at a very young age. When did you start?
If I had to pinpoint a time, I would say I was probably about 8 years old. And it's just
That's really young.
I know, right? But I lived in a house with a lot of different people, and I talked a lot, and they just didn't want to hear really what I had to say. So I found myself in a notebook.
It sounds kind of sort of like when I was younger too, like, just writing and like, hey, listen to this or whatever.
Yeah.
That's really interesting how we could start really, really young.
Yes.
So, like, what was one of your favorite pieces, and why did you write that piece?
Well, my Newark poem is one of my favorite poems, and I wrote it when I went to school in Ohio at Wilberforce University, and so it was different out there. It was no sirens. It was no, it wasn't Newark. It was quiet.
Very
you could
different
hear
than
the
here.
crickets, and it was the countryside. And when I came back home to Newark on my first vacation, like during Christmas break, the streets were talking to me. Like, it was so noisy. It was like I really felt that the streets were crying.
Yeah, because I know you said that you write poetry to running water. You said, yeah.
I think it sounds good. It's like a soundtrack that plays, and it's soothing, but it's a good sound to bounce the words off, I think, anyway.
I think that's really unique. Like, some people really don't think about writing to different things other than like music.
Yeah.
So I really think that's unique. And I know that you're a Newark native too.
Yes.
Born and raised, I
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
And I know you have Hug the Block.
Yes.
Now, I've been to one of your Hug the Blocks. It's amazing.
Thank
Can you
you.
tell us a
Thank
little
you.
bit about that?
Of course. Well, the reason why I started Hug the Block is because I'm a lover. I love, and I love my community. And after I graduated from Temple University in Philadelphia, I came back here, and I just felt like the community was missing something. It needed some color. It needed some life. It needed some love. And so I just got on the phone. I went different places, and I said, listen, I want to do something for my block. I want to do something for my community. So I just started gathering as many poets, dancers, actors, singers, whoever I could get who had talent. And I told them, we're going to stand out here, and we're going to do a cipher on all 4 of these corners. And we're going to celebrate ourselves. We're going to celebrate our art. And we're going to try to hold hands all around the block and actually hug it.
I think that's amazing because of the area where Hug the Block is, and all of the people that come out for Hug the Block. Like, it's amazing. Like, you had about 50 to 70
It's growing
people.
too, and it's growing.
Exactly, and you come out there and meet different people. Like I said, I think that's amazing because there are people that's not really thinking about doing things like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's so focused on what's going on in Newark that they're not trying to change Newark. And I think you are a changer of Newark.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I want to. I love Newark so much, and I feel like poetry is my tool. It is my weapon. So if I can gather people and do poetry, whatever I can do to just share and shine light on the gifts and talents that I feel like I've been blessed with, and absolutely share it with my children and with my family and with my community, is like, I feel like I'm right on purpose.
Now, you had another show that you produced yourself, Blue
Floozy Waterfalls. Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I wrote this show. It's really 55 of my poems put together. That's a lot of poems,
From
right?
memory?
Well, yeah, I memorized. Right now, I'm working on it, and I'm developing it it is a one-woman show, but I'm putting choreography to it. We have a media component, and it's an interactive show. So it's kind of my dream to be up there doing poetry because I'm an actress, so I wanted to create a performance piece based on my poetry and not just stand up and do an open mic. You know what I mean? So the floozy, that's what we call it. The floozy is just like a wonderful experience because you leave differently. I get to jump out and scream and,
Right.
beat drums, and, I have people paint on my body and pour water on me. It's a very refreshing thing, but it's my moment to help people shift their consciousness. I wanted to do that in a creative way, and the floozy is the answer to that.
Now, to me, you're like one of those people that help shape the future of what's
Wow.
coming up. Now, I'm a mom of a 5-year-old, and you have two. Tell us how it is to be a mom, an amazing mom.
Thank
at
you.
that,
Thank you
and
so
go
much.
out and just touch people, not only in Newark, but you touch people throughout the New Jersey area. So tell us how it is to balance motherhood with children,
Oh
like
my gosh.
with poetry.
I absolutely love my children, and I feel like they are my gift from God. But when I have to work a lot, I have to leave them a lot, and I take them a lot of places too. But every time I go, I tell them, "Mommy is building a world for you." Like, that's our thing. They know that I'm out here building a world because imagination is important, and art is important, and creativity, the things that I value, is like I'm pouring it into them. But I'm also trying to build foundations so that other children in our community and all over the world can benefit from that expression. So it's really, really tough because I don't want to leave them sometimes, but I have to, and then they are poets and actors and dancers and rappers
Yes,
and
they
MCs
are.
already, because we expose them to, the life that we live, and they come to the People's Open Mic. Like, we're going to have the Little People's Open Mic soon. So, it's
And
like,
that's like a part of the NOLA project?
yes, that is.
Okay.
And that's my daughter. My daughter, her name is Nola. And like I said, when I came back from Temple University, it was something that I birthed. Like, Hug the Block is actually a NOLA project. And the reason why I'm calling them NOLA projects is because they are things that I feel like I would want my daughter to do, to have, to be. So anything can be a NOLA project. If, it's something for me to just plant seeds so that I feel like she can grow and be cultivated and nurtured in an artistic type of space. You understand?
Right. So as you speak about like imagination and being young and growing up and wanting to do and become, who influenced you when you were younger to want to grow up and do and become?
That's kind of a hard question, a little. I'm just going to say the library. Because I love libraries, I love reading, and when my mother, she used to work, and when she would get off, I would have to, she would meet us, me and my brother and I, at the library. So after school, I would go to the library, and that was my babysitting until she got off, and I just read a lot. I just would read, and it fed my imagination, and then I would just write stories. And so, I think that played a big part in me being a writer and being a creator. But in my adult life, I'm going to say Devin Bleak Ash, my brother who passed away in 2009, he has been a very influential person for me just through poetry and just in life, because he wrote a lot. He stayed at the library. He inspired me to just be who I am, and to love it. So I'm going to say Devin Bleak Ash.
Okay. And as I saw at the Hug the Block, your brother speaks through you, as I can see, because like I said, you touched a lot of people. And also with your creativity, I see you are very creative. I love your style.
Thank you.
What influenced that? Because as artists, we try to step outside the box, we want to be different. And some of us try a little too hard, but yours, you look very, very, very beautiful, and it's in a unique way. So who inspired your style?
I have no clue. I think I get inspiration from everywhere and everything. I'm always writing a poem. I'm living my poem. So if I like a color, I'll wear it. If I just like the vibe of it, then that's just how I put things together. And
Okay, well, I do want to thank you
oh, thank you
for coming on the show today, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for watching Newark City of Poets. Again, I am your host, Jaleesa McEachin, and until next time.
Thank you.
Crying. My streets are crying like the babies on the bus. Wipe the lust out their eyes, around and around, listen to their cries, disguised like popular schoolgirls who don't want to hug. Goody two-shoe daughters who don't want thugs. $5 and fiends who not gonna buy drugs. Put a bug in my ear. Make me stand clear of the foggy truth and reigning fear where tears are engraved in the rear of the bus that the babies are crying on and dying on off crack and vows with black tops, and cops are pushing new rides and brides are married to the streets because dudes ain't doing nothing but changing their heartbeats. Laying them on the concrete, defeat, we are incomplete. We need some more meat so we don't slip through the cracks. Fact, we need some more teachers so they could teach us the facts. Because Rite Aid is wrong and B's mean more than. Because it's more for Newark Queens than Palace Fried Chicken. And when flipping on rat-infested mattresses and dirty lots has changed to throwing up gang signs and running from the cops, I can't stop these streets from shedding tears because maybe all along they've been crying for years, just bleeding through tats. Staying in the laundromat so your next load get washed in that. Stay swallowing it like an after-school snack. It's like Chinese food and a sudden cat nap. You see it every day like your skin that's black. It's whack. I hear my block moan. It screams while I'm on the phone and I can't turn it down. I can't stop it from drowning in spit from nasty mouth mamas who teach what's not in your reach as opposed to the sky is the limit and the sun will shine. Cause time is a whore turning tricks in my mind. Hope is very far away like my papa. And not for nothing, but my corn muffins have been toasted. My grounds honey roasted, smelling like pea, I'm nuts. The tall buildings want to hide. The bus don't want to give you a ride, but a run for your money, son. The sun is even running away like fathers. Sitting in bars, behind bars, locked out of lives like cat number 9 is 6 smog so thick messing up our brains. So we remain in this universe of 6 blocks. That's not Harlem. It's just pork with an N. Withering like lilies and silly hoes on Hawthorne, waiting for the storm to end. A rainbow, and not the same old stuff, dog, just another day. Say sorry to my block for kids throwing rocks and dudes busting shots. Stop making my block bust her glass where they throw bricks, cause sticks don't hurt too bad. You do not have the right to laugh when my streets are sad and crying. Believe. When your words match your actions and you live by what you say. When you become who you are after watching yourself decay. I lay down in pressure to pray my tears solid from liquid hard time years, pushing aware away, still knowing still waters run deep. And the branch looked down and the river looked up and the river said, you don't know how deep I run. Being. You gotta have something to believe in or you'll waste away faster than ice, 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 ice. Who stuck to cover the price of the ticket? Born of mother and wine, wire picket fences around free lottery drawing men, wicked with pensive stares, and the boulevard is so loud with neon-colored peons. Dust where crowds should be, my people evaporated in history. Vaporized betwixt mysteries and asphalt splinters, bags, nips of gin wrappers, poles laughing Ritz crackers, jazz papers, and where do we go in the ground? How do we make sound open to our music? Pray. Faith colors our soul around our rugged roots we tree. Meanwhile, my soul is singing in the rain for a pen. I write. Intense, bleak blueprints on dusty window panes. Evidence of life's gift, perpetually wrapping a bow around all of our futures.